So as the bread and water are passed, it is appropriate to reset your organ so that you're ready to go for the closing hymn. And that allows you then to either sit with your family for the rest of the meeting or sit up on the stand and not need to be at the organ sitting there for the rest of the time. Once you're done resetting the organ, you can go ahead and sit down again on the stand until the end of the sacrament portion. And then if you want to go down off the stand when the young men go and sit with their families, that would be appropriate. That would mean then you would have to come all the way back up at the end of the meeting, but that could work. Or you can stay on the stand and it makes it easier access for the last hymn. The last hymn is obviously at the end of the meeting where you're used to it. What you want to do is not stand up before a member of the bishopric because that is their cue that we're done with testimonies. Sometimes an organist will stand up prematurely when they think it's about time to end the meeting, and no one else shares their testimonies because they think the meeting's done. But the bishopric member might have felt to let it go a little bit longer so that someone else had an opportunity. I'd encourage you to wait until the bishopric member stands up, and then you can stand up and make your way back to the organ. It should be all set and ready to go, and pretend that maybe you're doing "Come Follow Me" for your closing hymn. If that's the case, the bishopric member will announce the closing hymn and closing prayer, and you will then do the introduction. Well, in this hymn, it's a little bit different. The introduction starts at the beginning of the hymn and goes until the end of that first phrase, "The Savior said," and then if you look, it jumps down to "With God's own love begotten Son." Again, this is something to practice before you're playing in a meeting. You don't want to be surprised by this. I have been before. So you're going to go ahead and start playing before the chorister stands up. They will at some point stand up, you break the noise, and then you come in on the downbeat when they cue you. At the end of "Come Follow Me," you are finished, you wait, the closing prayer is said, and as soon as the closing prayer is said, then you are going to, or you can adjust the volume before this, maybe while they're praying. And if you need to change any settings during the prayer is the time to do it. But you're going to for sure turn down the volume, just like you did for the sacrament, and you're going to start playing right after the prayer is finished. That postlude can last anywhere from 1 hymn to 4 or 5 hymns, depending on, first of all, if there's a need to get right to the next class, or if you're enjoying yourself and feeling the Spirit and wanting that opportunity to play a few more hymns. That's okay too. If they're needing to start a meeting sooner, obviously be respectful to that. When you're finished with the postlude, you're going to turn off the different buttons on the organ, including the power button, close the covering for the keyboard if there is one, and you have just successfully played your first sacrament meeting on the organ. Super proud of you. That is a really nice thing to walk through start to finish so that you know what to expect. I would say before you tackle a whole meeting, I would ask if you can just do the prelude. That would allow you to set the organ, to be playing in front of everyone, and then once you're done with the prelude and the bishopric member stands up, you would slip off the organ and someone else would slip on and finish the rest of the meeting. You might even consider doing that for a few Sundays before you feel ready to tackle a whole meeting, and that would be okay. Maybe the next time you do it, you do the prelude, and then you're the one that does the postlude afterwards. That would be another step toward where you're trying to go. Another option is to do one congregational hymn and have another organist that covers the rest of the congregational hymns. There's lots of options, and it's okay to grow with it in time.